What's up guys, Evan of 47 and welcome to Watching for the Plot. Today we are reviewing Kutsujoku 2, the sequel, the show I just reviewed yesterday, which, speaking of that, this is day 3 of 7 of daily uploads for this week. Now, remember when I mentioned earlier yesterday that the main reason why that show rubbed me the wrong way because the main character who had the superpowers didn't necessarily have the appropriate background to be that vicious and vindictive? Well, we have this fulfilled in this show here. So in this sequel, we're in a completely different universe, and essentially whatever happened that last series, that last season, forget about it. Forget about everything. Where the powers come from? Who knows? Did he really treat them as slaves for the rest of their lives? Who knows? Everything's gone. So in this new universe, we have our main character here, Soma, and Soma is a PE coach. Now, he's getting the same respect as the main character Kurashime did, i.e., getting shit on by all the students in the world. And his getting shit on version is basically some girls, this group of girls in his class that he's teaching, they keep bullying him. I mean, power dynamic here, he has the job, the respect, and the strength over them. Couldn't he just snitch and say they're being bitches and they can kick him out of their class? Couldn't he use his power to kick them? Whatever, that's beside the point. Okay, I'm thinking logically here. We're watching a hentai, we can't think logically at all. So he gets pepper sprayed, he's like, oh my god, they keep torturing me every single day, this is insane, and then while in agony and despair, his eyes flicker red right quick, and then the girl who's bullying him just ceases, just stops moving. And we're supposed to recognize that he now has the powers that our last boy, Takazaki, did in the last series. It's very interesting. So it's almost like he activated that power under massive duress. And so with that power fully activated, he's like, oh shit, this is kind of cool. I wonder how far this can go. He's trying to find this one girl named Sayaka. And Sayaka had a sister who was violated by someone and their family had to move. But Sayaka stayed where the sister was violated because they wanted to continue her education in the country she was raised in, I guess. Kind of makes no sense. The whole entire family left because the sister got violated, but they left another girl around the same age in a position where she can get violated. And guess what? She does. And guess who's one of violated her? You guessed it, the main character, Soma. Now, I have to imagine that he had access to the power back then, but he didn't know he did because he's having flashbacks of having sex with Sayaka's sister, which didn't mention her name, by the way, so I have to keep saying Sayaka's sister, but let's keep going on with this. And he keeps thinking it's Sayaka herself, so he's like, hey, did I meet you before? And she's like, no, I haven't. Who the hell are you? Who Megalo? And then he's like, do you have a sister? And they talk about it, they catch up on information, and then Soma's like, oh, so that's why your parents left. So I can catch the hint there, not running away with that obvious jab right there. She's like, what? How do you know my parents? Boom, gets ensnared, he uses his powers and begins to test his limits. Now at this point, right, he goes for about the rest of the episode just continuously violating her, and after that, he gets revenge on the girl that bullied him in the first place at the beginning of the episode. And that's the end of the first episode. Now, I'm still kind of mad that there is no origin story. However, knowing this guy was a piece of shit, anyway, he was doing this shit anyway, it kind of makes sense as to why he was so manipulative, right? Because if he was as manipulative as he is now without any prior experience whatsoever, that's just basically plot armor bullshit to just make up to make him seem like a really beefed up main character when he's not. Of course, also, how did he get a job as a PE coach if he actually did the crime that they're saying he did? Did they just not catch him? Yo, Japan, catch up your shit, bro. I know this is anime, but what are you doing, bro? Come on, bro. And next episode, he's like, I want to test out my powers some more. I'm bored. He's playing the game in his office or whatsoever. And then the girl on the screen he's playing the game with pops up in the room. And she's like, hey, what's up, man? How you doing? And they're basically talking, shooting the shit. The next time they meet, Soma gaslights the fuck out of her by doing this, right? So he uses his powers to, make her act upon her. And then he decides to you know what? I'm gonna stretch this out as long as I possibly can. He decides to stop using the powers overall. And he's like, oh my God, Noru, are you okay? So that whole situation there, essentially, he was controlling her and making her, do various acts upon him. And to stretch it out, he decided to act like that he was getting controlled as well as her. So they're like, oh my God, what could have happened? I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do this. Crazy, you felt it too, right? I mean, you weren't under your own control. What was going on here? Oh my God, we need to meet up after school the next day to see what's going on. We need a theater board. She's just apologizing, she's like, this is terrible. We need to get to the bottom of this. Of course, she didn't mention going to any, cops or any other adults in the universe because this one sole person experienced such a supernatural experience with her that no one else will believe it ever happened. And even if she brought it up to someone else, Soma can just gaslight her and say, that didn't happen. What are you talking about? Ha ha ha, get out of here. Because if Noru went out and told someone that a ghost made her have sex with Soma, then Soma will be put under the bus because he's the adult, and that sounds ridiculous as fuck. So Soma's like, yeah, I don't know. What do you think it is? And Noru's like, it could be a ghost. It could be a karma. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. She keeps talking, blah, 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 blah. And then Soma just instantly goes at it again and just continuously keeps up the act. And then the series ends there. Now, let's put it this way, right? In this universe, we have to understand there are no adults. The only adults that ever exist in this universe are either coincidentally gone or just don't exist. Because even when Soma decided to check to see if anyone was outside the classroom when he met Noru privately, he never considered that as a threat other than that specific moment, which is very weird to me, right? Because like he was going at it consistently in the swim club, even in his own office, without even thinking about other people walking in. But the moment he decides to try to do it in the classroom, then all of a sudden adults exist and matter in his universe. It's very weird. Anyway, long story short, this was pretty atrocious. Pretty bad overall. And if you're into mind manipulation and all the wonderful world of just mind control, then go ahead, go at it. It's all for you. All right, guys, I don't have an outro, but if I did, it wouldn't matter because no one makes it far into the video. Good night. Day 3 of 7. Let's make it 4 tomorrow. Yeah.